Hey guys, welcome back to Land Podcast. This is your pilot, Heather, speaking alongside pilot Tracy. And we're here for Stepping Stones app. We're super excited to get this show on the road and hopefully offer a little bit of advice.
All right, let's get into it. We didn't mention it last episode, but last episode was our 10th episode, our first milestone.
10th app.
Super exciting.
Congratulate us.
Happy 10th episode.
But today, we're doing stepping stones, and in our last episode, we said if there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly.
Anything can happen.
When you're a bad bitch, anything can happen.
Period. Honestly, even those things that you don't even realize that you're accomplishing a milestone, and then you look back and you're like, oh shit, I can cross that off my intention list.
Yes, let's dive into that. Intention list, vision board, goals that you set for yourself, kind of like a to-do list. Let's break them down. What do you usually do, Heather?
Okay, when I was younger, I used to do vision boards. I'm more of an intention list now. I can make them on my phone and be super specific. And it's just an easier way for me to stay on track with what I want to accomplish in a broad span, but also like day to day.
So what's the difference between an intentions list and setting like a goal list?
Well, okay, so I think you can do like a goal list for like every day. Like I have a list of things that I want to accomplish that I make about 6 months, and I write down every single thing I need to do. And I think that's more of my like goal list and like dates I need to have things done by. And then my intention list is like what I'm trying to accomplish for the entire year.
Gotcha.
What do you do?
Well, I usually write down manifestations for myself. I'm not sure if that would count as like an intentions or like a goal. I wouldn't necessarily call it a goal list for me. It's more like an objective statement. So if I have something that comes to mind that like inspires me, because I like to journal a lot, like a quote that I come up with to keep me motivated, I'll write that down on my my whiteboard, and then I'll write down things that I would like to come into fruition. And what they do, I check them off. As far as like a step-by-step guide, my version is different because I like to keep different journals. So I have a journal for budgeting, and I have a separate journal for each project that I'm trying to get done. And I write out my steps as I go. So I don't really like have a preparation for it. I just plan as I go. That's how I thrive. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Okay, good.
I feel like I'm super chaotic in my brain. It might not sound like that to you guys, but I'm very chaotic, so I need to just like have everything written down.
Yeah. Once you write something down, then it comes to life.
Exactly.
And it becomes real. So your version is you like to plan ahead. You like to get all your thoughts down, map out your next move, and you go based off of that.
Yes. And I'll add to like throughout the year, but generally it's like a set list.
So do you think you go based off like big goals, or you write down small goals for yourself?
It's a mixture. I definitely write down like super long-term goals. But if I want to like wake up at 7 a.m. every day, for example, I'll write that down too. So it's small things, but also like large things. Like before I moved to North Dakota, about a year before, I wrote it down on my intention board. And then, I just work towards that. I just like to know what I'm working towards and like what I need to do to make my dreams become a reality.
So what are your dreams?
For this year coming up, let me think. One big thing that I can share is I wrote down graduation, which is happening in December. And then I wrote down Bali because I want to travel and I kind of want to like see the world before I hit up grad school. I also wrote down some different grad schools that I want to apply to. So that's kind of where I'm at. Where are you at in your vision board, intention board, journal goals?
Wow. I noticed yours is very like surrounded around education and starting up a career. I
Yes.
would say mine is more on the personal journey, like getting my mental health together, just really stepping into the adult world, you
Mm-hmm.
know, trying to move out and just get my life started. I don't have it all figured out yet. And I'm just trying to put myself into a position to where I can thrive. Because right
Yeah.
now, I wouldn't say I'm in a bad environment. Don't get me wrong. It's just I'm very stagnant here.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like my first step is to get out of my comfort zone and put myself in a position to where I can thrive so that new ideas and new inspiration could come about.
Yeah. You don't thrive where you're comfortable, you know?
Right. If you're comfortable, you're not moving.
Yeah. And I also want to mention that for anyone listening, if you don't have anything written down, there's no pressure. You know, it took me a long time to like figure out a system that worked for me. And small daily goals are just as important as long-term goals.
Yeah, I think people might find it intimidating to set down like a 3 year goal, a 5 year goal, a 10 year
Hmm.
goal. I noticed like even when I would like meet people for the first time, they'd be like, "What are your long term goals?" And I'm like, I don't know, and that's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta take it day by day.
One day it'll all fall into place for you, and you're like, okay, this is what I meant to be here for.
Do you remember? I believe it was a dating episode we did, and I was talking about Renee.
Uh
It's like you didn't have no goals, no ambition. You're
huh.
like, no money. I think as long as you're not like Renee, you'll be fine. As long as
Hashtag not like Renee for this fucking episode.
yes, exactly. So as long as you have even just a simple goal of, okay, every day I'm gonna get up and make my bed, or every day I'm gonna get up and make breakfast. We all know breakfast is an important meal of the day, so why not start simple?
Yeah.
Just small things to get you motivated. Um,
We need to live life with intention.
Yes. And I know like right now it's like a trend for people to be like, I'm gonna manifest this.
The latest one I saw, and this girl was like, I wrote down 100 times that I wanted a nice man. I'm like, damn, I'm not doing standards to try to make my fucking dreams come true. I'm sorry.
Right. It didn't work back then, and I don't think it'll work now. I think
No.
one time should be enough. I will dot dot dot.
Yeah.
And then to write down steps to get there, do it. Or just on one simple sentence and post it up so that you look at it every day. That's why I have the whiteboard because my mind is constantly changing. So it's a way for me to have something permanent, but not permanent. It stays up there as long as I need it to. And I read it big enough for me to see it every day in the area that I know I'm going to go to every day. So it's constantly playing in my mind. I also keep little post-its around of like things to keep me motivated. So there's like some post-its above my sink, some post-its in the bathroom, some post-its by my vanity, areas that I know I'm going to keep going to.
Yeah.
Like every day I can remind myself of these things.
I typically use my post-its for like daily tasks. So that's interesting. That's fun. Different uses for different materials. Another thing that we should probably touch on is the dreaded, maybe not dreaded for some people. I know some people fucking thrive, but New Year's resolutions.
Ooh, good topic. New Year's resolutions.
It's
Yay or
okay.
nay?
I will make a New Year's resolution, but I don't hold myself to the standard of like, I'm going to die if I don't get this shit done. That's not like how it works for me. But I know some people are super serious. Like, I saw this girl, she's like, I want to read 100 books by 2022. And she's like reading 3 fucking books a day. I'm like, okay, what are you really absorbing from this? And why are you doing it? If you're just trying to make a number to tell people, you know?
Mm. I wonder what does
So
she do? Like, how do you have time to read 3 books a day?
she's an influencer. Her name is Kenzie Elizabeth. I definitely suggest you guys look at her stuff. She's super motivating. And I think she even realizes like, okay, this is like a lot. But I,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more so like, are you making your goals to appease other people? Or are you really doing it for you? So think about that. next time you're doing your New Year's resolution. Who are you doing it for?
Very true. Why do you think some people, like I know like it's obviously a trend where
Mhm.
people make a New Year's resolution, and usually it has to do with like weight loss. So gym memberships are sky high in January.
They're
Gyms are crowded
full.
until February,
Yeah.
and then people fall off. What tips can you give to stay motivated to keep that tunnel vision to your goal?
The gym is hard. I think that weight and weight loss is super popular because it's so in the media. Like, you want to be like that woman who people find beautiful on a large scale, or a man. If you're a man listening, you want to be like those basketball players who have the 8 packs. And sometimes it's hard to stick to the gym, but I think starting your day off early and getting it over with early is a top tip, because you don't want to, sometimes you thrive at the gym at night, but if you get your workout done early and then you have the rest of your day to live, then you'll stay focused.
I think that can apply to other things as well, like not just, necessarily just the gym, but if you have a daily goal, if you get it done first thing in the morning when it's fresh in your mind, that's a good way to start out.
Yeah. And I would definitely set alarms. I have alarms for meals, for everything. My phone is full. I turned them off for this episode because I don't need my phone going off. But I think set alarms, and in the detail section, be super specific. Like, I set this alarm for this amount of time so that I could do this. And if you don't need to do it that day, all right, turn the alarm off. But if not, get what you need to get done at a certain time every day.
Yeah. To kind of chime in on that, for people who may have like a busy schedule, or in my case, work full time, a way that I stay motivated to get things done instead of like letting one thing consume my whole day is I find little pockets in the day to get things accomplished. So you know your schedule better than anyone. If you need to take your entire lunch break at work to focus on this one thing, or right before you get to work, like when you're in the car on the way, to your destination or on your way home, what can you do in those times to help reach your goals? You have to not force yourself, but you really have to have a lot of discipline to make time for the things you want or the things you need to get done. I think it really comes down to discipline, and it's hard, but I think that's somewhere in the definition. you know it's hard, but that you just have to train yourself to do it. I think they said it takes 28 days to form a habit. If you
Yes,
can stick 28 days,
you can conquer the world.
you can get a whole new life started.
Yeah. I also think it's super important that we have realistic expectations. So split things up throughout the week, and you can do different things for different days. It'll all come together. Because in the end, like T said, the 28 days, that'll start to add up over time. And then you'll look around like, oh shit, the year's done and I've accomplished everything. And now I'm ready for next year.
I feel like it's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results, or it's not as drastic as you want in the moment. Because once you've been at it for a while and you take time to look back and you're like, wow, look at all these things that I have been able to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big motivator too, is when you take time to reflect. I feel like people always talk about, the future, setting goals and making sure that you get to this finish line. But sometimes you got to look back and see where you come from. And for me personally, that's a big motivator, to see how far I have come already. And it makes it seem like the journey ahead isn't so bad. Celebrating your wins. How often
Even
do
the
you
small
reward
one.
yourself?
I think it's important to reward yourself and congratulate yourself, because only you really know what you're accomplishing every day. So I think it's important to be your biggest fan.
Okay, so you like to reward yourself with a little retail therapy.
I love shopping. It's just what I
Mhm.
love to do.
I know.
So yeah, I reward myself pretty often.
With gifts.
with
Okay.
gifts.
Be your own sugar mama. I heard that.
Here's the thing, guys. I feel like we're in a day and age, this is off topic, but I feel like y'all relate. We're in a day where we are always like taught to seek a rich man. And Cher said it best, I am a rich man and I will buy myself what I want. So reward yourself if you have the funds. If not, if you're working towards something super huge like purchasing a house, moving out, I think it's important that even putting that money away is rewarding yourself. Like, I'm putting this away for my future.
Absolutely. And it doesn't always have to be material things. You don't always have to buy yourself something to reward yourself. You can reward yourself with a nap. You can reward yourself with a day off. Take that day off. That company don't care about you. You can die today and then replace you tomorrow. Take that vacation.
Quit your fucking job.
Okay, maybe not quit. Make sure you got something else lined up first. But can I just say, I do admire people who are able to just up and quit their job. At the moment they feel any sense of unhappiness, I'm out
Yes.
of here. I
Yeah.
admire those people. I applaud you.
Thank you. Thank you. The crowd is going fucking wild. I am the queen. I will quit my fucking job and not think twice about it.
I've only done that once, and it was so liberating.
It
But I was
is.
broke for a good 6 months.
It's a risk versus reward. Not that I'm suggesting you quit your job or anything.
Having a team, finding people who can help you achieve those goals, surrounding
Yeah.
yourself with the right people, kind of touching back to our friendship as filtering out people that don't belong in life. I think that's important when trying to achieve goals. If your example of your goal is to uh, run a marathon, this is not for me per se, but say this person A goal is to run a marathon. If
Mm-hmm.
they're surrounding themselves with people who hate running, for one, who have no desire to be any type of active, that behavior is going to rub off on you.
Yeah.
So I think surrounding yourself with like-minded people helps you stay focused.
Mm-hmm.
And you may be thinking like, well, I don't know anybody who has that same mentality of let's get up and go run. So then you have to outsource. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I'll start going to the gym. I'll start hanging around, hitting treadmills every day or 5 times a week, whatever. Be social with people at the gym. You see somebody running on the treadmill, hey, can I ask you a question? How do you keep your stamina up? Make a friend. Um, Look up online people who have done marathons before. Any way to get yourself with those people. Then there might be some type of Facebook group. There's a Facebook group for everything.
I can't wait to be a mom in one of those mom Facebook groups.
I'm in a couple of Facebook groups and, just give it a try. So I feel
Yeah.
like, any way you can get your foot in the door is good.
Yeah. I think
You
it's
just have to
important.
want it enough.
Yeah. You should have different friends for different aspects of your life. And if you're going to the gym with this group of friends, you can hang out with this group of friends, you know? So just make sure that you have an abundance of individuals you can rely on for different things.
That's very true. Even if they're not your friends, even if they're just like people you associate
Acquaintances.
yourself with.
Yeah.
Yeah, like-minded people. Because sometimes it is hard to do it on your own. And that's a quick way to get unmotivated.
Yeah.
And you
I
feel like
also
you're
think
doing it by
it's
yourself.
super rewarding to be able to do things on your own. I often see people like, oh, I finally went to dinner by myself, and I've like doing things on your own, especially if you're used to doing it in a group. It's hard to make that step and go do it on your own. So if all you can do is do it on your own, then do it the best you fucking can on your own. And then someone's going to be like, oh shit, well, can I join you? Like, once they see you bettering yourself, they'll be like, okay, I want to do that too. And then you're like, all
Yeah.
right, now I've got a friend to come with me. And if you guys aren't feeling motivated or you need someone to talk to, hit up our DMs and we will communicate. We'll be your friends.
Yes. And that reminds me, accountability partners. Now,
Mhm.
this is a hit or a miss.
Yeah.
Um,
Me and T are each other's accountability partners for about a week, and then we'll hop off, and then we'll come back and say, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, that's our stick.
it really is. We can't commit more than 2 weeks to each other.
Yeah. But you know what? Starting motherfucking the 10th, T, on Monday, you guys are hearing this live.
This is how it starts, people. Live action.
Live action. Starting the 10th, T, we are going to do something super intentional every day for 28 days. Doesn't matter what it is. We can choose our own. We can discuss it off air, and then we'll come back and tell you guys what we did a month from now. But we're in it.
We're in it.
It's always like this, too. I'm super energetic, and T is like, all right.
No, Heather, I don't want to set goals with you.
Get the fuck off my phone.
So, topics we've covered, setting goals. Find what works for you.
Yes.
Whether you're like Heather, who maps out, her goals way ahead of time and writes down in detail everything she wants to accomplish, or if you're like me and you take it day by day. I'm not the type of person that can like necessarily commit. I don't think that's the right word or the right phrasing. I can commit to something, but I allow myself to change my mind. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the whiteboard is symbolic to that because yes, it's there and it's permanent because I wrote it down, but I can easily wipe it away, easily change my mind, easily change up my game plan. But when it comes to smaller details, and of course I bust out the journal and then I just start writing whatever comes to mind, free form. That helps me stay motivated. Accountability partners, finding someone or finding people to help you stay on track to your goal can really be beneficial. Even if you feel like you're not the most social person, finding people that are like-minded can really be beneficial. Just give it a try and rewarding yourself, big wins, small wins, all of it. Whether you're going on shopping sprees at Sephora or or if it's just rewarding yourself with a nap because you deserve it, or taking a day off from work or half a day off from work because you need to rest, or you just want to get out into the world. That's perfectly okay. I think the only thing we haven't touched on are setbacks when you get knocked off course, which is, it happens because it's life, I think you just gotta find a way to pick yourself back up.
I think don't be too hard on yourself. We're all so programmed to like beat ourselves up all day, every day. It's important that we just recognize, okay, I didn't achieve my goal for today, but what can I do tomorrow to make it better? And if your goal is reading 10 pages a day, you forget your 10 pages. The next day you can read 15, and then you'll be right back on track for the third day for your 10 pages.
Yes, that's the same method when you forget your birth control pill. You forget it one day, you take two the
Look,
next.
guys, hold on. Birth control. Take your shit on time, because what if you're sexually active and then you're like, oh shit, 9 months later, baby.
Well, when you forget to take a pill, you have to use backup protection
Some
just in
people might
case. But
forget, man.
then that's your fault. It's Russian roulette at that point. Sorry, that's just how I related to that.
Double up. This is what we're saying. Double up on protection, on reading. Double up. If you miss a couple days, triple up. Because you can take an extra 30 minutes a day and dedicate it for you. Just like you dedicate your 9 hours to your work, you can dedicate an extra 30 minutes for yourself.
Exactly. You just have to get back up on that horse. Try again.
Try again. Try again. It's like when you learn to ride a bike and you fall down. You don't just
Mm.
pick your bike up and walk home. Sometimes you do if the fall was hard. But like sometimes you just get back up and you try again. It's like kids, they just keep fucking going.
They keep trying. And sometimes you just have to take a different approach.
Yeah.
Okay, this way hasn't been working. it's just not working. I've been doing it this way. This is the way it should be working out. Like I got it mapped out, but it's just not working. It's okay to change up your game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is set in stone. That's why I love the whiteboard.
What works for someone else will not work for you. Sometimes it will, but most of the time it won't. 95%.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, you need your own game plan.
Try different things, figure out what works for you, and you'll be fine. You'll
It'll
make it.
all work out. We have faith in you guys, and we have faith in ourselves. Be your biggest fan. Like, I think it's super important that when you do have setbacks, you can reward yourself. Why the fuck not? You know what? I had a setback today, but I'm going to take that fucking nap. Because why the fuck not? Who's going to stop you?
Nobody.
Exactly. No one. And if they have something to say about it, say, this is my life, not yours. This is an A and A conversation. B, see your way out of it.
So be seeing your way out of it.
I didn't even think that. Be seeing your way out of it, bitches. That's all you have to fucking say.
Amen. Wow.
I think I'm really inspired too with that.
I have to let that simmer. This is an NA conversation. So be seeing your way out.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is how me and T's brains work together. I say AABC. She says AAB singing. This is greatness in the fucking making. Hashtag AAB seeing your way out of my fucking business, bitch. That's what I'm saying to every fucking person.
I love that you always throw in a bitch somewhere. Bitch. Bitches. It started with Bumble bitch. Where were we? Oh, setbacks. Okay, let's reel it in.
We need to remember why we came here today.
We have been sidetracked.
And all that had to be cut off because I slightly violated T and I have already lost.
I am weak. I'm sorry.
Look, honestly, like.
Okay, I got it back together. Okay.
We need to reel it in. And one day we will share that footage. You know we're not. I'm deleting it. I can't listen to myself through that. But when we need to get together, we will reenact it for you guys live action.
Oh, please let me remember it. So I can bring it up.
I really fucking forget. So I'm not coming home until July.
Gosh, how many months is that? We're in May.
He's gonna say, let me write this on the whiteboard for you. Look, okay, all right. We have a problem.
That's because we haven't talked in a while. So it overflows into these conversations.
It does, you know, especially if something comical happens, it really just takes us off. We get derailed. You know, I'm a comedian, T's a comedian. It just works out for us.
It's all clownery.
Currently unpaid, but you know, one day they will pay us.
In short, when it comes to setbacks, as long as you come back, and it doesn't matter how long it takes you, as long as you come back, you'll never fail.
Never.
Winners don't quit. They take breaks. And you deserve a break sometimes, you know?
And quitters never win.
Quitters never win. How do you know you can't achieve that goal if you don't try?
Exactly. Where are you going to be on that spectrum? Are you going to be a quitter? Are you going to be a winner?
We're going to be winners, baby.
We're taking over the world, bitch.
Yes, we are.
An homage to our last Stepping Stones app.
Oh, yes. We're taking over the world. Get ready.
I love this app. I think it was super fun. We really went over all the spectrums of how you can write down your goals, figure out what you want to accomplish, and make it happen. And we should get back to each other. We should figure out what we're writing down for this year. This year already started 4 months ago. Better late than never if you're just starting. But get started on that, write it down, and let's see what we can accomplish by Jan.
It's never too late to start a goal.
There are 9 more months in this year. Let's make it happen, Captain. And remember, if someone is getting in your business, you tell them this is an A conversation.
So be seeing your way out.
Period.
Be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at Land Podcast. And on Twitter, we're at Land_podcast.
This was a great app. We will see you next week for Sex Talk. We hope you enjoy that as well. Should we talk sex toys or what are you thinking?
A risque topic, masturbation.
All right, guys. We have to go now. We love you. We'll chit chat with you next week or during the week on our Instagram platform.
So don't forget to DM us or leave a comment.
Yes. Our 11th episode.
Give it up for episode 11.